Hi again. This is your host, Dave Welsh, for the Let's Visit show. Today we're going to visit one of the United States' oldest cities, the city of Boston. So stay with us. This should be a great show. Everybody knows Boston. Along with Philadelphia, it forms the cradle of the American nation. Founded only 10 years after the arrival of the Pilgrims in Plymouth, this 1630 town became the largest and most important settlement in the whole of New England. Today, Boston can be considered one of the biggest little cities in the United States. It covers a mere 48 square miles. That's only about 6 by 8 miles. In this light, Boston lies at about 150th in size of American cities. But in population, with 650,000 citizens, it is 20th in size. You're looking at the old State House, still adorned with the British lion, but where the Boston Massacre occurred on March 5th, 1770, and from whose balcony the Declaration of Independence was read on July 18th, 1776. Faneuil Hall lies at the center of Boston's old market district, and today is a popular tourist spot.
The British Army is going to be here for the next 300 years. God save the King.
Faneuil Hall, a well-known stop on Boston's Freedom Trail, sometimes called the Cradle of Liberty because of its role in the American Revolution, was built in 1742. It has a greater historical interest than any other building in the United States, save Independence Hall in Philadelphia. On the morning after the Boston Massacre, the first public meeting was held here, and Samuel Adams called for the expulsion of British troops from Boston. In 1773, the first meeting of protest of the British tax on tea took place at Faneuil Hall. On the top floor of Faneuil Hall is the headquarters of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company of Massachusetts. For an authentic step backwards into the history of the American Revolution, the visitor must visit the old granary burying ground on Tremont Street. Here we will see the graves of James Otis, great orator and patriot, the monolith of John Hancock, the Franklin family gravesite, although Benjamin Franklin is buried in Philadelphia. The victims of the Boston Massacre, the grave of Samuel Adams, the fire behind the Revolution, and of course Paul Revere himself. Even Mother Goose is said to be buried here. Could it be? But Boston does not just live in its past. The present Boston is an exciting and vibrant city. In Boston and its environs, there are a myriad of colleges and universities, such as Harvard, Tufts, Northeastern, Boston University, Boston College, and the University of Massachusetts. It is a center for medicine and research, with the Massachusetts General Hospital, Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, Brigham and Women's Hospital, Massachusetts Eye and Ear, and Leahy Clinic. Boston is also a center for the arts. It boasts places such as the Museum of Fine Arts, the Museum of Science, the Kennedy Library, the Boston Symphony, the Boston Pops Orchestra, and the Handel and Haydn Society. Even the premier TV station of PBS is located in Boston. WGBH produces more programming for public broadcasting than any other PBS affiliate. Boston's neighborhoods are unique and provide the city with a great cultural diversity, such as in the North End. The neighborhood is alive with restaurants, most of them Italian, and the residents carefully hold on to their deeply embedded Italian culture, with an occasional humorous reference to the Boston accent. Within the North End neighborhood is the Paul Revere Mall, known as the Prado by the locals. It is a brick-paved area hosting a magnificent statue of Revere on horseback. The mall leads up to the Old North Church, where the famous "One if by land, two if by sea" sent Paul Revere on his famous ride to warn the Patriots of the arrival of British troops. The church is still in use today, and a great example of 18th century architecture. It was on the night of April 18, 1775, in Boston's North End, that Paul Revere left his modest home to mount his horse and create a national historic ride. His house is still here at number 19 North Square. It's the oldest building in downtown Boston and is visited by thousands of people every year. To say that Boston is a big sports town is a gross understatement. Greater Boston teams have been a force to reckon with throughout the years. National championships have been won by the Celtics 17 times, by the Red Sox 7 times, by the Bruins 5 times, and by the Patriots 3 times. So let's take time out from the historic, cultural, and economic view of Boston and visit Fenway Park. It is the oldest Major League stadium still in use, boasting 100 years of fantastic baseball. Who hasn't been impressed by some of baseball's greatest players who called Fenway home? Think of Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Carl Yastrzemski, Cy Young, Roger Clemens, Wade Boggs, Carlton Fisk. They all played here, right in this very ballpark. Fenway is known as America's most beloved ballpark. The oldest section of Fenway behind home plate has old wooden seats that are so narrow they would be outlawed by today's building codes. But I guess Americans have put on much posterior size in the last 100 years. The park, although not huge in size, is huge in history, memories, nostalgia, and reverence among New England fans. It is sold out for every game since 2003.
There's always been a press presence here at Fenway. Now, the area was a lot smaller before 2007, but in 2007, we signed Daisuke Matsuzaka in December. The next day we had 350 media requests from the Japanese media. So 3 in the morning when they're piling them.
You see here the radio booths used to broadcast the games both in English and Spanish for Boston radio and for the visiting team's home city. The Green Monster is the nickname given to the high wall in Fenway's left field. It is a popular target for right-handed hitters, being only 310 feet from home plate. And above the Green Monster, pronounced Monster in Boston, are the Monster seats. These were installed in 2002. The Green Monster is notable for preventing home runs with hits in other stadiums which would go over the left field fence. But there's a trade-off. Balls off the wall account for many doubles, known locally as wall ball doubles.